We are starting with Julia's ideas for sustainable holiday decor. And Jules, bless your heart, you're outside of your house. Thank you for braving the cold for us.
Clearly, Tracy, I take sustainable holiday decor very seriously.
You sure do. Okay, so how do we have a more conscious Christmas? You know we love holiday decor. How do we do it the right way?
You know what, Tracy? Honestly, the first thing I got to say is if you want to have a more sustainable, more conscious holiday, really slow it down. And I think, honestly, this year, I think we're all sort of trying to find the silver lining to everything that's going on. And one of the things is the fact that we are going to slow down and things will be different. And this is the perfect time to create new traditions.
Absolutely. So I love traditions and the idea of creating new ones this year that we can then hold on to for years to come.
Yes, and for me, Tracy, it is the front porch. I have been so inspired by this beautiful front porch, and I really wanted to decorate it and create a really nice, warm, welcoming space, because obviously this year we're not having our guests come into the house, and so I really wanted to create somewhere nice and friendly where people could, as I call it, knock, drop, and go.
Okay, I love it. Knock, drop, and go. Where do we start?
Okay, so we're going to start with the wreaths, okay? These are beautiful wreaths. Now here, the idea of using plastic is wonderful, but there are some wonderful also, other things that you can choose. If you want to support a local florist, would be incredible to get an all-natural one, or, as I have done, Tracy, DIY my very own. And if I do say so myself, I think they look pretty good. So what I used actually was grapevine. So you buy a grapevine wreath, and then you can place in all of your greenery, whatever you want. And the most beautiful thing is, Tracy, at the end of the season, you pull out all that greenery, that goes into the compost, and you save those grapevine wreaths, and you'll use them over and over and over again. So they're really beautiful. I love the little ones, Trace, that I put on the door here. I kept them really, really basic. Just put in a bit of pine, a bit of cranberries for color, and then the white, Trace, believe it or not, popcorn. Talk about zero waste decor. You can eat it when you're done.
And if you don't eat it, the birds and the squirrels will, right? They'll very much enjoy that. Now, somewhere else we could lessen our eco footprint, you say, is with a live tree.
Oh, okay, Tracy, here's the biggest debate going in the whole sustainable Christmas, debate is it better for the planet to have a fresh cut tree, or is it better for the planet to have, artificial tree and use it over and over again? That debate goes on forever. I'm not getting involved. What I am going to tell you is there's another option, and it is a live tree. This is a tree that is fully alive. It's in a plant. It's beautiful. Now, they're not hard to find. I got this at homedepot.ca, and they actually delivered it. But the best part, Trace, honestly, you can have it outside, you can bring it in, and then at the end of the season, you plant it in your backyard. Super, super easy. Now, I want to show you, Tracy, these balls that I put on the tree, because of course they are a little DIY. Now, I thrifted these, so they're vintage Christmas balls, which I love to do. But you know what the problem is that they're all different colors and they're all different sizes. So I painted them. And get this, I painted them with house paint from the walls. You know those old cans of paint that you've got sitting in the basement? Well, I used it up. And what I did was create a chalkboard paint, really. So you take your old paint, put about a tablespoon of baking powder into it, stir it up, it'll become thick. It'll become that matte color. Then you can paint all the balls. And Trace, the best part is your Christmas balls match the walls in your house.
I love that idea. I love that you're always thinking ahead. Good DIY. Whether you use old mismatched ornaments you have or thrift them like you did. Okay, well, we want to go recycled and repurposed. There's one way you say new may be the way to go. And what's that?
You know me, Tracy, I'm the one that will always, upcycle, use over and over again, and I will never tell you have to buy something new. But the one thing I will say is you have to buy new Christmas lights. They are the LED Christmas lights. Honestly, Tracy, they will use 80% less energy, and they will last for like 2,500 hours, which I think works out to like 15 Christmas seasons. Like, we'll be hanging these lights with our grandchildren. But it really is. I mean, those old lights, check with your municipality, look around, because there are a lot of cities and places that will help you recycle those old Christmas lights. We don't want them around anymore. They're just energy suckers. Okay, so Trace, I want to show you the latest addition to the porch this year, which I think a lot of people may have this one. This is what I like to call the sanitation center. I mean, obviously we're not having the guests come into the house, but I still want to make it feel very welcoming for anyone who is coming to do their knock, drop, and go. So you got the basket filled with all the gifts. You can drop those off. We've got some hand sanitizer, some wipes, some masks. Again, just if the kids are coming in, whatever, all I can tell you is that the Amazon Prime drop-off guy loves the fact that I have wipes on my front porch.
Absolutely. Now you've got one more easy DIY for us that comes from Mother Nature herself, but really finishes off your decor.
Okay, if you want to talk about a slowing down, talk about trying to make a 30-foot long Christmas garland with 3 teenagers. Slow. So it was great. So what we did was we just collected a whole bunch of, pine and cedar and boxwood and all the fresh greenery that you can find. You can either purchase it or we even got some out of our backyard. And we just created little bundles of almost like they were like bouquets. And then we took a long jute rope and basically just measured what we wanted to do, which ended up being almost close to 30 feet. And you lay that rope down in the kitchen, and then once you've got all your bundles, you just attach them to that rope. And then you're able to hang those boughs wherever you want to hang them.
You know what? That's really lovely. And you get the whole family together in on that project.
Yes.
I like that.
It was shocking to see that they actually stayed long enough to actually finish it.
That's one way to keep their attention. Thank you, Jules. Incredible ideas as always.